Welcome to Florida Focus, a college football podcast. We have a Seminole and a Gator together, trying to put aside their differences and bring you the fantastic world of college football. Thank you for joining us on this ride of hype, hope, and hilarity. My name is Brandon, and as always, I'm joined by Chris. How are you feeling about today's show, my friend?
Pretty good. Very interesting show. Totally different, and like we were talking before, very visual, so a lot of the stuff you might have to either Google search it or go to our Facebook page and look at some of the images. But interesting to talk about the uniforms because it's very subjective of what looks good and what doesn't look good. And I don't have a sense of style at all. I'm always asking my wife, does this match? Is this okay to go to this place? So understand everything I say. It's coming from a guy who doesn't know anything about style, but this is my opinion and kind of what I like to see the Gators wear on Saturdays.
Okay. Well, I mean, we certainly all can benefit from some fashion sense, but I think you do all right, sir. You know, you dress very well every time I've seen you, and I mean, when you're a parent of a young kid, sometimes you don't really have a choice in what you wear.
Yeah, this is very true. Very true, and oftentimes it's not your first choice. It's because the first choice was spit up on or something.
Right.
But yeah, most of the credit goes to my wife. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Very good. Yes. So yes, we're gonna break down our Fave 5 uniform combinations for home games, and I know when we say that, there's gonna be some people who say, "Hey, what about the rest of the uniforms? The away, the alternate." Just hang tight. We'll get to those sometime later. We wanted to break down some of the home uniforms to start off. But anyway, Chris, I think the best thing we can do that the fans can benefit from is kind of explain where we're coming from and kind of why we picked this topic.
Yeah, well, it mainly comes from Florida Gators and they were Nike, and I think I could be wrong on this, but the Jordan brand, the Jumpman, is kind of like an offshoot of Nike, and we are switching this season to the Jumpman, and instead of the Nike check, we're gonna have Jordan, in the classic iconic pose where he's dunking,
right? And
it's pretty cool. It's interesting. I will say it's kind of odd having a basketball player on a football jersey. I know that when Michigan had it, I was kind of like, this is strange, but I can see it's gonna look pretty cool during basketball season,
right? And
there's only a handful of teams that have this brand, so that's kind of cool. And I know that plays heavily into recruiting. So as strange and odd as it might be for me, I know that for the players that are coming out of high school, that's really cool to have Jordan on your jersey and it also goes down to the kicks too, and like you're going to see a lot of Jordan brand Gator shoes, which is they've already started making, which is really cool. So I do like that, but to be honest, it's kind of odd seeing a basketball player on a football jersey, but I'll get over it, I guess.
Or you could even stretch it and say a baseball player.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see. I'll say it's a player making a diving catch.
There you
go. We'll spin it that way.
But a sports icon nonetheless. So I mean,
yeah.
I don't think you can go wrong there. And you were mentioning the shoes. Didn't a lot of Gator players and coaches show up with some of their apparel on media days?
Oh yeah. Oh absolutely. Mullen. He wore some nice Jordans, Gator Jordans, there, and he did that. It's just because he knows 18-year-old, 17-year-old men are seeing this. He knows that's what they like. So it's very smart on his part.
Couldn't agree more. it's impossible to separate Oregon's recruiting success with the jerseys they offered, and they have over 60 because they have Nike in their backyard or something. And I like your point there. I didn't realize so few schools actually had Jumpman, and or Michigan had them in the past.
Yeah, yeah. Michigan is the most notable one. I know there's a few more that have them. So that's kind of cool. It's cool to say that. And so I'm looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing how they look in games. And normally, typically, I don't like when we switch up the uniforms because we've had some duds, big time duds, which we will get to in another show. But we've done some stuff recently that I've kind of like, I didn't think I'd like that, but I really, really like that.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that. And we've talked about this before. One of the most interesting things I liked when the NCAA football game was a thing on the consoles before.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, exactly. When I was explaining this to my wife a couple of years ago, I was explaining what had happened and why it kind of it's not around anymore. And I didn't realize I was doing this, but as I was explaining it to her, she was like, you just described it like someone ran over your dog. Like, you look like you were really, truly sad about that. And I'm like, I am. I'm really sad about this.
That's very good observation. I'm going to take one step further. I was speaking with a friend of mine about, all the systems I used to play games on, and he was bringing up some of the newer gaming systems and the new options you had for gaming, and I said, I'll be completely honest. Once they stopped making college football games, I lost interest in systems.
Yeah, that's true.
I haven't really played since.
Yeah, I've played here and there. I mean, having a wife and a kid changes that too, but yeah, my gaming days are slowly going away. But going back to that game, one of the things I really loved was before you play the game, you get to choose your uniforms. It was pretty cool cycling through and mixing and matching and like, oh, what if they did this and that? So I thought that's always been a fun part of that game. That's kind of why I like this topic for today.
Yeah, you could do all the things you've always wanted to do, and has a little fantasy element to it. So I completely agree.
Yeah.
All right. So what the format will be here for the fans is what we've always done. We've both listed our top 5. I'll have Chris start with his number 5, and I'll go to my number 5, and we'll alternate. And as Chris mentioned, it's visual, so bear with us and know that if you're a fan of these schools, you probably already have a vision in mind what the uniforms look like. So we're asking you just to give us a head start, if you will.
Yeah, and just to let you know, this is uniforms that our teams have worn at least once. Okay. Not just kind of what we'd like to. It's kind of actually this is either that one game or that one season or one handful of games or whatever. It's at least once our teams have worn these uniform combinations.
Good call.
Yeah. So let's do this.
All right. Awesome. We'll start with you, Chris. Go ahead. Your number 5 jersey. My
number 5 jersey is a uniform combination that we've worn one time, and it's one that it was just a special game, a one-time thing that Nike was doing, and that's the interesting thing about Nike is that they use us as prototypes a lot of times, and I typically don't like when they change it up. But this game, it was Tim Tebow's last game in the Swamp, and he wore the I guess it's called Flywire uniform with the looks like a little feather on the shoulders.
Oh.
It was blue and blue, and like the back of the pants, kind of like a white thing going down the back of them. And we wore the white helmets for the first time. Now, we had throwback helmets that were white before, but this was the white helmet with the new F on the side of it. And typically I don't like this, but I really like the uniform mainly because of the significance of the game and how the game played out. Had we had lost or something, I probably wouldn't like it as much, but it was Tim Tebow's last home game, and it was against FSU.
Right.
And we won handily, and it was just fun to watch I was like, okay, I didn't like him at first, but like now after the game, I was like, okay, I really, really like how this looked. Anytime you win, you look good. So that's kind of why I like that, and that's why it's at number 5.
Okay. Flywire. Was there some kind of edging like on the shoulder pads or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird design. It looks like almost like wings on the shoulder pads.
Okay.
You'd have to look it up. But that's the first time you see the white helmets come back with the new, I guess, italicized F that we had recently switched to. And they recently put it on the end zones, that font. So it was real cool. It was real cool to see. And like I said, normally I don't like when Nike does the prototype stuff or weird stuff, but this one actually turned out pretty cool. Mainly because of the game and just what the game meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Great choice. And I mean, you alluded to something. A lot of the uniforms will have some kind of program significance too. And right off the bat, your first pick, you mentioned who was playing in the win that it brought you.
Right. Yeah.
So I have a few that kind of go along that pattern as well.
Gotcha.
So I would say that my number 5 was also something that was kind of experimental. We wore this uniform only once or twice, I believe, and after looking over some of the players that were wearing this, I kind of sold myself this uniform. I wasn't always keen on it, even when it first came out, but the jersey itself was a black Florida State helmet. It was, I'm going to call it a red jersey and red pants. It probably wasn't even technically garnet.
Okay.
It was a very dark red, and we wore this in 2009. And this was, we had E.J. Manuel as quarterback, and this was the last year that Bobby would coach.
Right.
As well as Mickey Andrews. So we had some pretty important departures go there. But the couple things that stood out about those uniforms. Number one, that was when they released those special gloves that had, you would put the symbol up and you would see the logo. Well, a lot of schools were doing it. And so when those jerseys came out, I was actually more fascinated with the gloves.
Yeah, no, well, I'm glad you said that because it might be the same Flywire that I was talking about because with our Flywire, we had the same deal. The gloves came out with it. And those are pretty sweet gloves.
Yeah, you look at those, I was like, man, that's revolutionary. That's going to change the way they look. And that to me, it also is the end of Bowden's career. But there was a game that I went to against Maryland in 2009, and we desperately needed a win because we were 5-5. We knew the following week we were going to face Florida and lose. So we needed to win this game to just stay bowl eligible, and we barely did that. But it was in front of a stadium that was 1/3 empty. It was so empty, in fact, the band was playing and the sound was bouncing off of one side and going back to the other. There was no one to fill the seats.
Oh, man.
And we didn't even know this at the time, but when I watched, they had Mickey Andrews plant the spear at midfield to start the game.
Right.
Because he announced he was going to retire, and nobody knew Bobby was going to be, quote, forced out. That was his last home game, and there was barely anybody there to watch it.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. So I actually did get to go to that game. And that's why that jersey, the look itself, I could take or pass. But I honestly, the black helmet, that's the last time you're going to hear that on my list. I'm just not a fan of it.
Really? I actually like the black helmet.
Yeah, it goes well with some of the things they're trying, and Taggart's already mentioned that he's exploring some other jersey looks next year, and so it may come back in a different form. But me personally, that's about the extent of my love for it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah. I actually am a fan. I mean, gold is good too, but I like the black.
Okay.
But I'm interesting that I figure that all Florida State fans would like it, but I guess not.
Not me. I guess with the helmet itself, just want the power tradition.
Gotcha. Okay. See, you'll see later on, but I'm totally different on that helmet? Thinking. But that's that's. Uh-huh. But I guess Taggart. I guess that he got those ideas from when he was at Oregon.
Because
man, they love to switch stuff up.
I think they have. I'm not joking. There's over 60 different combinations, and they even throw in some funky socks too.
Oh yeah.
They go all out.
Oh yeah. Well, back to the football game, the in-state football game. You play against Oregon. You spent half an hour just trying to figure out their uniform.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's
Love
pretty
it.
cool.
All right. So that's my number 5 then.
Okay. All right. Then my number 4 is one that we use quite often, and that is the regular orange helmet and the blue on blue. Blue top, blue bottom.
Okay.
And a lot of outside people call it the Smurf look, and I get it. And I think it's significant games played in it. We usually put them on when we play big games. And one thing that we've started doing in the last 10 years or so is that when we host Tennessee, we wear the blue on blue, and I really like that.
Okay.
I think that's a perfect time for the blue on blue because you definitely want to offset that ugly orange. And you don't want So the best way to do it is with the blue. So, and I don't like when we wear our orange and their orange, it kind of clashes. So go all out on blue, and then we started doing a blue out when we host Tennessee, which I think is pretty cool.
You know what? This is the first time it ever occurred to me, the similarities in the colors. Dead serious.
Really? Oh, if you're a Gator fan, you have any Tennessee fan, it is something that comes up quite often. Is how wrong your orange is. Oh yeah.
Okay, the blue out. That's a really smart, good marketing strategy, obviously, and and in my head, just envisioning most Gator uniforms, I always imagine a blue jersey and white letter, so that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Your orange is wrong, sir.
Yes,
your
exactly.
Orange is wrong.
Excuse me, you have some wrong orange on you. You need to go change that.
Okay. Never heard the Smurf nickname to that, but
yeah. Maybe I don't know. Maybe just amongst some of my friends, but referred to it as the Smurf look.
Blue on blue. Okay.
Yeah.
On Tennessee game. Well, my number 4 is not one that we wear very often, and it's been several years since I can recall a game, and I know it was against Miami. But my number 4 is the gold helmet with the garnet jersey and the white pants, but it has a garnet stripe.
Oh, okay.
So this one I haven't seen quite a long time, but it's a good. We'll get to the road jerseys later on, but basically the road jerseys we flip that, because you would wear a white jersey normally. So this one we basically are taking the garnet jersey and making the pants white. But to me, it's the stripe that makes the accent on this one.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it kind of adds to the ensemble. So that's my favorite there. But we don't really use that one too much. Nike kind of went another way with the white jerseys. And I'll be honest, I don't have any game memories or anything attached to this. Like I said, I remember one Miami game, we wore this as an alternate. But it can also kind of be used as a neutral site technically. But the white pants, garnet jersey, gold helmet.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, I'm not too keen on the Florida State white pants in general, but I'd have to go back and look at the accent you were talking about, see if that makes a difference.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Very cool. All right, so my number 3 is one that we're starting to do at least once a year, maybe twice. It's starting to make a comeback, and that is orange helmet, the orange jerseys, and the white pants.
Okay.
And one thing that it reminds me of, obviously Emmitt Smith when he was running around in the orange. And one thing that I think McElwain got right is that for the longest time it drove me nuts whenever we hosted Kentucky. They're blue. We would still wear our home blue jerseys, and it drove me nuts because I don't know. I just like seeing the opposite. So we finally figured it out. When we were hosting Kentucky, we wear orange, and it's just So there's orange and blue.
Okay.
It sticks. I don't know. Just visually, I like seeing that, and McElwain did get that right. He kind of overcorrected a little bit, and he had like all orange one game, and that was a little bit too much. But I really liked the look of the orange helmets, orange tops, and the white pants.
Would you say that there's a primary color between orange and blue, or you really like you're a blue team that wears orange and an orange team that wears blue, or is it just this mix and they're equal?
I think if you had to pick one, it's blue that wears orange because our standard is the home blue jerseys.
Okay.
Although the swamp itself is orange, it's like painted orange.
Right.
So you can make an argument, but I guess if by default we wear blue.
Okay.
I don't know. It's called orange and blue.
Right.
Starts with orange. I don't know. It's a good question. What about you?
I think we're a garnet team with gold accent.
Okay.
And that's kind of the conclusion I've come to. The gold is secondary.
Gotcha.
Because we don't have a gold jersey.
Right.
So that's one thing. That's one reason why I look at it that way.
Okay, and it's garnet and gold, so.
Right.
Okay, I'll give you that. That's pretty cool.
I like that. I'm seeing the kind of the bleed over with the other school colors. That's a very intelligent approach. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was your number 3? Orange, white. Okay.
Yeah.
Emmitt Smith, by the way, I'm sorry. That goes back to the AstroTurf days of the Swamp, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, way before me. I guess not way before me, but right before me.
Yeah, if you're not a Big Ten school that has trouble with winners, I don't see any reason to ever have that stuff. I'm glad that got ripped out when Spurrier came along.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, so my number 3, and this is when mine starts to get really exciting, is the gold helmet, of course, black jersey, black pants.
Oh, okay.
So this was something we unveiled in 2006. Now, this was around the time Florida State was making amends with the Seminole Tribe of Florida and trying to make better presence of the Native American tribe in the school's history and legacy and all this stuff. So this was one of the jerseys that came out to promote some of the welfare between the school and the tribe.
Right.
So when this came out in 2006, we premiered these in a blackout game against Boston College. And we had a statue unveiled at the stadium. It's of a Native American family. By the way, just a quick history of the school. The reason that we have the unconquered statue outside of Doak is that the Seminole Tribe of Florida was technically never conquered. They never reached any kind of agreement with the government, and they never surrendered. What they did was they hid out in the Florida Everglades, which we all know is terrible terrain, and waited for the government to stop searching for them and give up.
To give up.
So they truly are unconquered.
Okay.
And so the statue kind of tells that story in a short way. So the black jerseys kind of go with that as well. And I get the legs mixed up. On the left leg of the black jersey, it says unconquered, and on the right jersey, it says Florida State.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember seeing the word unconquered on the actual uniform. Yeah.
Yep. The irony is we were conquered that day and lost to Boston College. So.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite FSU uniforms, just because of that. Sorry, but
in all reality, it's kind of a cursed uniform, despite its look. We wore it the following year against Duke and won, but we were up 6-3 at halftime. It was a miserable game, and then we decided to wear it again against Boston College in 2008 at home, lost again. So it's hasn't had the best luck. We might have busted that one out again in 2009. I can't remember.
Right.
But you don't have a winning record with those uniforms, despite how cool they look.
Yeah, well, on the basketball, Florida Gator basketball, we have a black jersey that we maybe once a year, but I think we have a losing record wearing the All Blacks too. Okay. So I don't know. So yeah, I understand. Has Florida State ever done the black shirt, pants, and helmet?
I believe we had one of the prototypes is going to be that. I can't remember exactly. If we did wear a jersey, Chris, it was something along the lines of like it was a blackish red helmet. Okay. I've seen some looks that are coming out this season in 2018.
Right.
And I'm blurring like what we wore at the spring game, what I've seen upcoming, what we've had in the past, and also some of the font has changed on the numbers, as I'm sure Florida's has.
Yeah,
so
it has.
In fact, one of my future picks, that's definite when you see them all side by side. And so the black helmet I know for sure was worn with the all of the red jersey and pants that I mentioned in number 5.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think we've done all black, but
I think that'd look pretty cool if it was all black.
Yeah, not a bad look.
But I know you don't like the black helmet. I know you don't like the black helmet, but I think
I just can't get on board. I don't know why. It's
right.
ESPN had a poll in 2007. It was like, what school has the coolest helmet? We won. It was a fan vote. I know it was 10 years ago, but when you look at that, it's just a classic look, and you don't have to write anything on it. You know who it is.
Right. Yeah, it is a pretty cool helmet. I'll give you that.
Yep.
That's about all I'm going to give you, but I'll give you that.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we are at my number 2.
Yes, sir.
All right, and this is the standard, the go-to: orange helmet, blue jerseys, white pants. That is the traditional home uniform. A lot of great memories wearing that one. It's the standard when you think of Florida Gators in the swamp. That's the go-to. And I think it looks pretty cool. A little bit of everything, a little bit of orange, a little bit of blue, and nothing else to say, but just it looks pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that when you think of games you went to as a kid and you picture a jersey in your head, this is probably the first one you go to.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, the font has changed on the numbers in the last 3 years. And I think the blue's gotten lighter. When I say lighter, I mean it's not like baby blue or nothing, sky blue.
Okay.
But back in the 90s, it seemed like it was a darker blue. But still, regardless, I like the way it looks. And that's a lot of games that I went to, they wore that. So that's why it's so high.
Okay. I'm curious to why it's not number 1. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, my number 2 is probably not one that most Florida State fans would agree with. I don't know, it's controversial, but it's the way it looks together. It's just not all that appealing to the eye. But my number 2 jersey is the gold helmet. No shock there.
Mm-hmm.
The garnet jersey and the garnet pants.
Garnet. Okay.
So it's almost like a color rush, if you will. And, this actually goes back to at least to the early 90s. There's, Charlie Ward wore this one, for instance. But we wore this outfit in the 2015 Peach Bowl against Houston. And then our last game, the 2017 Independence Bowl. So we've also mixed it in the early 2000s with Chris Ricks and the like. So it's kind of made appearances here and there. But other than my number 1, that's my favorite. I like the way it looks. And it just kind of further accents the garnet, like I was saying.
Okay. Yeah, see, as a Gator fan, I can kind of get on board with gold, but that garnet is just ugh to me. Oh. And I can say that for a lot of Florida fans and Miami fans, too.
Okay.
That's where you kind of you lose me. And to have double, I don't know, but I do respect your pick as a fan. But I'm going to be an honest Gator fan at the same time.
I get it. Well, I don't want to jump the gun here, but am I right that Florida has an all orange?
Yeah, that's fun one.
That's probably where I land with. I have the same opinion.
Yeah, I get it. I get why you would not like that one. It's fun to every other year when we host Kentucky, maybe, but that's kind of where.
Okay.
But yeah, I get it. Too much of a good thing.
Yep. And I mean, we've been fans of our school since its birth, but so we're biased stuff. Florida State has the perfect Christmas colors.
The perfect Christmas colors?
Yeah. Garnet and gold. Those are everything decorated for Christmas in garnet and gold.
That's not the red and green. I thought that was.
It's garnet. It wants to be garnet gold.
It
That's
wants to be
yeah.
okay.
That's
The
it's
poor
all
man's Christmas
yeah.
colors.
It's all a spinoff of Florida State.
Okay, I gotcha.
So yeah, there you go.
That's funny. All right. So we're at my number one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and this is very odd that it's my number one because if you know me, I don't like the change. You mess with the uniforms and tradition stuff. But this actually is a shocker. I really like it. Um, it is the white pants, the blue jerseys, but the new white helmets that we started wearing every now and then. I
Oh,
really like that combo. We've worn a throwback white where it's got the old F on it, and then we've worn a white helmet where it's got the italicized F. But this one, on one side has the italicized F, on the other has the script Gators, and it's in white. And the lines in the middle they don't go all the way down. And I think that looks really cool. And if you had on paper, it's stuff I don't like. Not the traditional Gator helmet. The line doesn't go down, and it's two different things. But I really like the way it looks, especially the white on top and the white on bottom with the orange, the blue rather in the middle. I really like the way it looks. I think we are like 1-1 or 1-2 in it.
okay.
So I wish we'd start winning a little bit more when we're playing. But I really like it. It looks really cool. I think we debuted that against Florida State, which we stunk it up and lost. But I've hoped for it. But I really, really like it, which is odd because I don't like change too much, especially when it comes to my Gators.
Hmm.
So, but that's my number one, and I hope that we have more success going forward with it. I think we're gonna wear it like once a year. I think.
Okay. Yeah. The I think when I saw that recently, just the idea to put two different emblems on the side of the helmet it's very unique. I don't know that anyone's ever done that.
I think some have like their logo and then maybe a number, your number on this other side of it. I've seen that a lot.
Okay.
But to have two different logos completely, I think it's very rare.
Right.
So I think this looks pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised on that.
Yeah.
I would have really, especially the way you talked about the orange, blue, and white. I really thought, kind of leaned.
Yeah, I know. I surprised myself too. So. And I have, you have those little mini helmets. I got obviously the orange one with the script Gator, but I also had to get the white one too, because I liked it that much.
All right.
And the Gators in blue letters on the white helmet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Very good. Well, I tried to collect those little tiny helmets, but it got too confusing because they did it by conference, and then everyone started jumping. So
yeah,
overlaps and. Our believe it or not, our helmet changed slightly. The spear kind of they made some tiny adjustments to it,
right?
And so enough though you see, okay, it looks a little different than it used to,
Right.
But all right, well that's still a good choice. You said white, blue, white helmet,
yeah,
blue,
yeah,
white.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I like it. Well, my number one is. It's the standard home jersey and has been for over 40 years. Deion Sanders played in it, Warwick Dunn, Peter Warwick, Jameis Winston, and now all the players we have now. And that is the gold helmet, the garnet jersey that has white letters, and then the gold silhouette and the gold pants.
All right.
Most or anybody that thinks of Florida State is going to think of this, and I believe, just to further the point that this is what everyone kind of envisions in their mind, I think all of our Hall of Fame or retired jerseys, the pictures of the players are in this exact uniform. So
okay.
The school obviously agrees. But yeah, when you think about the Noles at home, of course there have been some font updates, and recently Nike has kind of spruced up the collars. If you really want to see the difference in these, look at what Deion Sanders wore and what we wear now, where it was like, did he wear just a practice jersey on the field?
Yeah, it
playing
does.
1988. I mean,
There's like a couple of images of Emmitt Smith. Same deal. Yeah, it does look like a practice jersey. That's a lot of schools back then did that.
It's amazing to see all the technology we've seen just in our lifetime with these. Whether it's the cooling agents or the tearaway, the richer colors, whatever it is.
Right.
And so that's just a classic look for me. I'll never be tired of it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most home jerseys have either white pants or the same color as the pants are the same color as the jersey.
Yeah.
Unless it's a special game, but Florida State's been consistent, 2 different color jerseys and pants.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting.
Absolutely. I had a couple of just real quick questions for you. From the outside in looking at it, are there any small things that players do to change their jerseys? Like, I don't think the Gators have anything. Like, we have the Tomahawk, you can put a sticker on your helmet. The Gators don't have an equivalent, do they?
No.
Nothing like that?
No.
Okay.
Nah. I'm not a big fan of that.
No?
But, nah, I just never, because, I don't know, when you get too much of it just looks kind of weird, and I just like the clean look. Personally, but mainly because you could probably say because Florida State and Georgia do that, so maybe that's why. And Ohio State does it, so maybe that's why I kind of don't like it. But
okay, I was just going to bring up the Georgia thing because they have the dog bones, I believe.
Right.
So, yeah, you don't want to decorate too much, but you also don't want to be Penn State. I get it.
Yeah, I like the clean look.
Okay. Yep. Well, we touched on this a little bit, but I appreciated the insight you had into some of the games. You even knew the record and the newest. That's pretty impressive. I knew that for some of the older ones because we wore them so rarely that the classic jersey. There's too many. We won 3 national championships. That's what I know in those.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we actually, funny note, our 3 national championship games were 3 different jerseys.
I was wondering if that would come up because I didn't look up what jerseys we were wearing in those games. I think that in '93, our first one, we were the away team against Nebraska in the Orange Bowl, so we were wearing white. And in '99, I know we wore garnet jerseys, but I can't remember the pant color. And then garnet jerseys against Auburn in 2013. So I know at least 2 of them were different, but a couple of them could have been the same.
Right.
Yep. Do you?
That's cool.
I know the answer to this, but do you have certain jerseys? You're like, okay, this is a special jersey. I'm going to wear it for this game. I know the record in it. I know if I shouldn't wear it.
We're just talking like
your personal jersey,
like me personally wearing.
Yeah.
I used to, but now there's too much going on in my life to follow that stuff. But I used to though. I'm not gonna lie.
And what numbers are they?
I have it's Emmitt Smith jersey it's my go-to, but then I also had a 23 jersey that we talked about earlier when I got it at the garage sale, and I had a number 1 jersey, and the 23 I had as an away jersey. It was white, but I also got a game 1 22 blue. And then, if we were home, I'd wear the blue one, but if we were away, I'd wear the white one. But now it's just always the Emmitt Smith orange one.
Okay.
That's just my go-to.
Yep. Good
Priorities, man. I gotta take care of a kid. Can't follow that stuff.
No, I understand. But
I do have to wear a jersey, though. I do have to wear a jersey.
Not just T-shirt. It has to be jersey.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll be traveling, whatever. I can't wear the jersey, but if I had my say, I'm wearing that jersey.
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
Mine's 17, which is Charlie Ward, and
right.
I did keep track of that. I'm like, okay, we're undefeated in this jersey, but then I wore it when we played Oregon in the 14 semifinal, and after that, I was like, forget it.
Okay.
This jersey's, and we lost the game so badly. I'm like, okay. The curse has been broken. I can now just wear it whenever I want. But
right.
I'm good with just wearing some kind of Florida State something on a game. T-shirt's fine with me. Jerseys are a little bigger investment. So
Yeah, they are. They are. I think I want to eventually break down and buy a 15 jersey.
Sure.
And if I somehow came into the possession of a number 5 jersey, I think I would wear that all the time.
Okay.
But until then, it's Emmett.
Great call. All right. Well, hey, thanks for sharing your list. I mean, there's some great insight there, and the cool thing is having the sponsors that we do, we're going to see some adjustments, and this list will ever be changing. And
Yeah.
that's really neat. That, I mean, we have Nike, of course. You guys have Jumpman, which will bring all kinds of excitement. And
Yeah.
let's hope that translates to field success for both of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, this was a great one. I know that we're continually getting closer to the season, and we have a lot of fans that have some thoughts on the jerseys themselves or some of the upcoming games, which we're going to talk about later. But Chris, just remind the fans how they get in touch with us if they have any kind of feedback for the show.
All right. There are many, many, many ways. The best ways, though, are the website, FloridaFocusPodcast.libsyn.com, Libsyn, Libsyn, and then our Facebook page, Florida Focus Podcast. Hit us up on YouTube, Twitter, Florida Focus Pod. Please feel free to email us at FloridaFocusPodcast@yahoo.com. And then we have the new Snapchat. That's FL Focus Pod. And then, so please feel free to hit us up on any of those and give us some feedback, some comments. We'd love to hear your list. And then also we had just started our Patreon, which I'll let you explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, Patreon's a great way for any kind of artistic venture to be recognized, and we appreciate all the support and everything we've had to this point, and we just ask that you continue to consider that, just in a small financial way. To become a Patreon, we're just asking you to give $1 a month. It's going to make the show better. It'll get us some upgrades. It'll allow us a little more flexibility to give you some good content. Plus, as an incentive for signing up, we're going to give back to you. We're going to give you some small prizes, and then we're going to enter for monthly drawings. So I'm working on that as we speak. So please, Patreon.com/Florida Focus Podcast. There's an app just like there is for everything nowadays.
Yep.
And we will certainly start to recognize all those people as they filter in. We're trying to get 10 Patreons, and we have one so far. So we appreciate that, and we just look for continued support.
Yeah, keep it coming. It's only $1. I mean, you can not have that Snickers that one day. We'll be helping out the podcast. You'll be losing weight. Everybody wins.
It's a win-win-win even.
Yeah, exactly. So, but we do appreciate your support.
Absolutely. And that's something that going forward we're going to continue to remind you guys about, but it's something that, again, just benefits everyone. So thanks in advance. Fun episode, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah. Definitely different. And I got more passionate about it than I thought I would. So that's pretty cool.
Yep. So we appreciate the fans listening. Please give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. We love to see those written reviews. They are pouring in like crazy. And that helps us see your feedback, and it helps the show as well. Anything else before we sign off today, Chris?
No, that is it. Just thank you for all that you do. Thank you, sir, for all that you do. And looking forward to the season.
Couldn't do without you, man. Go Noles.
Go Gators.